Question number 1. Most common cause of premature rupture of membranes is. Suppose this question is flashing in examination hall on your computer screen. Most common cause of premature rupture of membranes is idiopathic. Where we have written idiopathics, we have written idiopathic preterm labor. Most common cause of preterm labor is idiopathic. Then precocious puberty idiopathic, precocious menarche idiopathic, delayed puberty idiopathic constitutional delay, mild oligo, mild poly idiopathic. But premature rupture of membranes, we have written infection. Most common cause of preterm labor is idiopathic. Most common cause of premature rupture of membranes is infection. Okay, beta. Which infections we have written? Gardnerella, group B, streptococci, chlamydia, etc. So, most common cause of premature rupture of membranes is infection. We know it is infection. Let's rule out other three options. Idiopathic, no. Sedentary habits is a cause of, come on, speak out, beta. Speak out with me. Sedentary habits is a cause of what? Sedentary habits is causing post-term pregnancy. Mistaken dates, again causing post-term pregnancy. What is the most common cause of post-term pregnancy? Most common cause of post-term pregnancy is mistaken date. Most common cause of preterm labor is idiopathic. One of the cause of post-term pregnancy is sedentary habit. Infection is most common cause of premature rupture of membrane. Infection is second most common cause of preterm labor. Most common cause of preterm labor, idiopathic beta. Second most common cause of preterm labor is infection. What is most common risk factor for preterm labor? History of previous preterm labor. Most common risk factor of placenta previa. History of previous placenta previa. Most common risk factor for abruptio placentae. History of previous abruptio placentae. Most common risk factor for ectopic pregnancy, history of previous ectopic pregnancy. So, answer to this question is infection. What is the management of premature rupture of membranes? Speak out quickly. Speak out quickly. What is the management of premature rupture of membranes? Till 34 weeks, steroids, tocolytics, antibiotics, and if less than 28 weeks, magnesium sulfate. Between 34 weeks to 36 weeks, 6 days, antibiotics and induction of labor. Management of preterm labor is, what is the difference in management of preterm labor and premature rupture of membrane? One word, antibiotic. Antibiotic is not given in preterm labor, it is given in premature rupture of membrane. So, up to 34 weeks preterm labor, steroids, tocolytics. If less than 28 weeks, magnesium sulfate. What is additional here in premature rupture of membrane? Antibiotic beta. And what is the treatment of preterm labor between 34 weeks and 36 weeks, 6 days? Wait and watch. We are ready to welcome. But for premature rupture of membrane, antibiotics plus induction of labor. What is the management of post-term pregnancy? Induction of labor. So, answer to this is infection. Most common cause of premature rupture of membranes is infection. Let's move to next question. Best method to diagnose congenital malformations in fetus of diabetic female is. Best method to diagnose congenital malformations in fetus of diabetic female. Examiner has asked diagnose. Diagnose means to see. How can you see? Ultrasound. Which ultrasound? It has been taught in radiology also. TIFI scan. What is this TIFI scan? Targeted imaging for fetal anomaly. There is another name of this TIFI scan, level 2 ultrasound. What is the best time we do TIFI scan or level 2 ultrasound? between 16 to 20 weeks, or to be more precise, between 18 to 20 weeks. So best method to diagnose or to see is TIFI scan. Hysteroscopy, let's have a look at other options in this MCQ. Hysteroscopy, what is hysteroscopy? Hysteroscopy is camera of uterus. So when do you want to put in camera of uterus? Camera of uterus will be used to see something inside uterus or to treat something. How to treat? Either to break something inside or to take something from inside. So where did we use hysteroscopy, beta? Hysteroscopy we were using in management of septate uterus, resection of septum from uterus. Then we were breaking something. When we were breaking something, hysteroscopic adhesiolysis to treat Asherman syndrome. What did we treat? Asherman syndrome. Then we were diagnosing hysteroscopic endometrial biopsy, gold standard to diagnose endometrial cancer. So hysteroscope is camera of uterus. By the way, what is camera of urinary bladder? Camera of urinary bladder is cystoscope. Where did we use cystoscope, beta? In our obs gynae, not in surgery. Surgery is of cystoscope. You have to visualize urology, urinary bladder, etc. In our obs gynae, we use cystoscope. In cystoscopy is answer to which MCQ of our obs gynae, beta? Definitive test for vesicovaginal and second one, speak out in your room. Which fistula? Definitive test for vesicovaginal and urethrovaginal fistula was cystoscopy. What is colposcope? Camera of cervix. Where did we use colposcope? To visualize cervix. So when we were using colposcopy in cervical cancer, when did we use colposcope in cervical cancer? If we face a MCQ, a patient presents with, there are two ways examiner will put that question. A patient presents with either abnormal bleeding per vagina or history of postcoital bleeding. Postcoital bleeding is most specific and earliest symptom of cervical cancer, or if a patient presents with abnormal Pap smear report and nothing is visible on per speculum examination, what is the next step? If nothing is visible on per speculum examination, obviously we will use camera of cervix, colposcopic biopsy. So hysteroscopy not used here. X-ray, best method to diagnose congenital malformations in fetus of diabetic female. We are talking about fetus, beta, means she is a pregnant female. Already they are contraindicated. But in my COVID lecture, I told you, because in this COVID-19, the problem is lungs are involved. Main system involved in COVID-19 is respiratory system, beta. Lungs are involved. They get pneumonia. So there is a need to visualize lungs by radiological investigation, even if she is pregnant, to save her life, beta. So what protocol WHO has decided, single CT scan is permitted. Single chest X-ray is permitted in pregnancy affected by COVID-19. We know that. So X-ray is of no use here. She is not a COVID-19 female. We want to diagnose congenital malformations in fetus of diabetic female. And very important MCQ, you know, congenital malformations never occur in gestational diabetes. They occur in which diabetes? Overt diabetes. Be very clear. So X-ray will not be done, CT will not be done, hysteroscope is of no use here, TIFI scan. So our answer to this question is TIFI scan. Another way, beta, a googly ball by examiner. Here the question is best method to diagnose congenital malformation. If examiner put MCQ like this, best method to predict congenital malformation. Examiner is not saying see it. Examiner is thinking, oh, congenital malformations might develop here. Let us decide how much was the level of plasma glucose, particularly during 3 to 8 weeks pregnancy, because most of the systems develop between 3 to 8 weeks pregnancy. So for congenital malformations to occur, plasma glucose has to be high, particularly between 3 to 8 weeks of pregnancy. So best method to predict congenital malformations in fetus of diabetic female would be HbA1c beta. HbA1c, glycosylated hemoglobin. Some HbA1c, glycosylated hemoglobin. Okay, beta. And best method to diagnose would be ultrasound. Which ultrasound? In place of TIFI scan, examiner may make this MCQ very simple, USG. This TIFI scan means it is a level 2 ultrasound. It is a level 2 ultrasound. Okay, beta? So answer to this question is TIFI scan. Question number 3. Most common neonatal complication of diabetic mother is. So what we extract from this MCQ? Complication in neonate, number 1, and mother is diabetic. Most common is hypoglycemia. We know very well. In diabetes, what happens? Maternal hyperglycemia, fetal hyperglycemia, but neonatal hypoglycemia. Second most common complication, hyaline membrane disease. Let's have a look at other options. Anencephaly. Most common neonatal complication. Neonatal. Anencephaly, yes, we know. Anencephaly may develop in fetus of diabetic mother. Congenital malformations. Most common congenital malformation in fetus of diabetic mother is VSD, ventricular septal defect. Other ones are anencephaly also. Rare, but most specific is caudal regression syndrome, and most specific cardiac is transposition of great vessels. Transposition of great vessels, most specific cardiac but rare. Overall most specific but rare, caudal regression syndrome or sacrococcygeal agenesis. Most common is VSD. Second most common is anencephaly. But examiner is asking neonatal. So anencephaly will be diagnosed in fetus. Hyaline membrane disease, second most common neonatal. Hypoglycemia, most common neonatal. What is VSD? VSD is most common congenital malformation. Most common congenital malformation. We can see it in fetus. But hypoglycemia specifically will develop after birth.